Hey guys, Sean Bastow from Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat. I'm here to do a prediction video for the upcoming fight this weekend between Oleksandr Usyk and Chazz Witherspoon. So before we get into my breakdown and prediction of this video, of course, to go and find us, you can find us at ESBR Boxing on Twitter and Facebook Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat and Instagram ESBR Boxing as well. So let's talk about this fight then. This is obviously a late change to the fight. Originally, this video was going to be Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyrone Spong, but obviously, as a result of the PEDS situation earlier on in the week, we've had a replacement, and the replacement is Chazz Witherspoon, cousin of Tim Witherspoon, if anybody knows their heavyweight boxing history. So, Chazz Witherspoon, 38 years old, 38-3 as a professional, has been victorious in his last 8 outings against, I wouldn't say mediocre opposition, being respectful to these guys. I'd probably say these are guys that have got sort of 50-50 records. People may look at them as journeymen, so to speak. If they was here in the UK circuit, you could possibly class them as journeymen. But, these are guys that are not at the same level as Oleksandr Usyk, who, as we know, is an absolute fantastic, consummate professional, cleaning up the cruiserweight division, and then having that great fight with Tony Bellew last November. He's been out for nearly a year now, so injuries are obviously hampered the issue as well. And then we've got the situation of getting him involved with Tyrone Spong, and then there was the Carlos Takam situation. So for me, this is a little bit of disruption going on in the background, but it's Usyk. Usyk used to fight in the World Series of Boxing. He's a fantastic standout amateur, fighting every single day. So for something like this, it's not really a problem for Usyk, I don't think. So let's sort of go into how this fight is going to play out. And I think most people are probably going to sit here and say, well, it's quite obvious, isn't it? It's quite obvious that Usyk's going to win this fight, of course. But can it be as straightforward as that? I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. You've got to look at the footwork of Usyk, something that he adapts well with when fighting different styles of opponents. You've seen him with the shorter guys in the cruiserweight division. The shorter guys are tucking up and getting on the inside and trying to land them shots on Usyk, and Usyk using his height and reach advantage to get them off, but also at the same time making sure that he's not getting caught whilst he's on the inside and coming out as well. And footwork has played a big part in that. The Tony Bellew fight, there were some pundits and some professionals that had Tony Bellew up at the point of the stoppage of Bellew last year, and Bellew boxed out of his skin to survive in there, to be honest with you, Usyk, and Bellew's admitted this himself. He had to box out of his skin just to hang it there with him. So for all them people that are sitting there and saying, oh yeah, Tony Bellew was bossing him and he was outboxing him and he's shown that Usyk can be outboxed, Usyk is a fantastic fighter. He's not an unbeatable fighter. However, I don't believe Chazz Witherspoon is the man to dethrone Oleksandr Usyk. I believe Usyk is probably the man to dethrone a lot of the heavyweights in the scene at the moment. So, for me, this fight's going to play out as the first 3 rounds are going to be pretty quiet. I think Usyk's going to work him out. He's going to try and get the rhythm of the fight. He's going to try and see what Witherspoon has got to offer. Bearing in mind, obviously, Witherspoon has had 8 wins on the bounce since his last defeat. Now, Witherspoon's only defeats have come to more caliber of opponents. So you've had Chris Arreola on there. You've also, looking at the record here, you've also had Chris Arreola, you've also had Seth Mitchell. I don't know if anybody remembers Seth Mitchell. And then you've also had Tony Thompson as well. So, these are sort of like C-level players in the heavyweight division, if you want to put them in some sort of category, I think. So you've got your C levels, you've got your B levels, and then you've got your elites like your Furies, your Wilders, your Joshuas. So for me, he's going in against a C level heavyweight. Bearing in mind this is his first heavyweight outing as well, so we've got to remember he's got to size up. Is he going to be able to bring that weight up with him? He's going to be able to bring any power up with him. He's not known as being a banger. He's more of a boxer puncher than anything. But will he bring an extra bit of power into his punches as he moves up to heavyweight? And obviously, Saturday's going to tell us that. But I think he's going to stick to his boxing and his footwork, and I think he's going to outbox Chazz Witherspoon. I do eventually see it breaking down into a stoppage victory. I think sort of between rounds 9 and 12, I think Usyk could put the pressure on him. And I think you could start to see Chazz Witherspoon unravel just a little bit. He doesn't really do well with guys that are movers and that have got the footwork, and that is something Usyk is sublime at. So I think it's going to be a case of Usyk maybe being quiet for the first couple of rounds, working with a spoon out, and I think he's going to break him down throughout the course of the fight. And I predict that between rounds 9 and 12, Oleksandr Usyk will stop Chazz Witherspoon. I don't envisage it to go to points, but it's not out of the question, of course. Maybe that would be a good thing for him. But in terms of my prediction, I think it's between rounds 9 and 12. Oleksandr Usyk making a great start to his heavyweight career, and then we get to get excited about potential fights in the future with the likes of maybe the B-level players like your Povetkins of the world, and maybe we'll see him in with a British fighter like a Takam, or maybe a rematch with Joe Joyce in the future. We just never know what's gonna come in boxing, depending on what happens in some of the other bigger fights. So I'm Sean Bastow. Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat is our platform. Go and find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to the YouTube channel to get all the latest prediction videos and podcasts from BTR Boxing Podcast. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you next time.